and welcome to Hidden Assets. I'm Chris, and I'll be guiding you through the Raygun Store Championships that took place on February 8th, 2015. And on our left is Robert, and Robert is playing Blue Sun. And on the right, we have Thomas, and Thomas is no stranger to our videos, and he is playing Andromeda. And on the left, Robert starts us off with an oversighted AI on a curtain wall, which is a really strong play, as Blue Sun definitely want to see this turn one. But Thomas answers by running R&D and trashing an off the grid, which is kind of the big point of Robert's deck. Is he's actually playing an off the grid Crisium grid deck, which is a really interesting brew. I played him in Swiss and ended up we went really long on our game, but didn't time out. But he ended up beating me. Robert is up from Portland actually, so repping Portland, repping PDX, and came up with a bunch of really cool guys, and they were really nice to talk to. And yeah, it's just really great to see the Northwest kind of all their players going up to all the different tournaments, even if they're about 3 hours away. So, Thomas is doing a lot of great stuff here. He has got his ferry on board. He has security testing. He got Katie Jones, and he's clicking Katie Jones. And he has John Massinori and a Desperado. So he is really kind of in the money. He's got all of his economy set, and that's great for Andromeda. Robert answers right back by just icing up archives. He says, no, thank you. Thomas runs R&D, and he runs into a Caduceus. Sorry about the glare. As we started recording, the cards were not glaring, but as the sun went down, it started to do that. In any case, Thomas pops his ferry to get through. See nothing on top of R&D, but it looks like he's got another ferry in hand. In fact, he just drew his third ferry. And what is this? We have Stealth Andromeda. Thomas's Stealth Andromeda deck. This is he's been playing this a little bit. He took it to another tournament after this one and placed second with it. Did very well with it. And here we see it sort of in his testing phase, I guess. He's been playing it a lot, but testing it out everywhere. Runs archives, sees a Caduceus, and uses the ferry to get through it again. He's really just running aggressively, trying to keep the corp off of some cash, I guess, but trying to build up those, effectively pro-contact runs where he gets a credit from Desperado and a card from Massinori. Definitely doesn't want to take that tag from Massinori here. And Robert is going to use Jackson, draw some cards, and discard some cards. Seems pretty solid. He's got, let's see, a bunch of ice in hand, I see. Also an off the grid, that's what he wants to see. And one Atlas project. Yeah, sort of the goal of the deck, the Robert's deck, from what I saw of it, is it's a bit combo-y. It tries to get an off the grid, a Crisium grid on HQ with a bunch of ice on HQ archive, or HQ and R&D, mostly HQ, and then it wants to use Mushin Notion, which is really a cool splash here. Mushin Notion on the agenda, and then install and res the Crisium grid on top of it, effectively making it almost like a RP. You have to run HQ twice in order to turn off that remote. And then you have to run that remote, so it takes at least three clicks to secure the remote. And usually runners just don't have enough money to do that. Robert ices up HQ. All going according to plan. Thomas, on the other hand, is looks like he's got everything he kind of needs. He's just looking for his breakers. He's holding a couple of siphons in hand and some money. I mean, he's just got all his money this game. So we'll see what he's going to do with it. Now, these players, I believe, have not played each other before. This was a 20. Oh, I think it was might have been a. This was the large tournament we went to. I think this was like 28 people or 27 people in this tournament. It was a really great turnout, and props and thanks to all of the Raygun people for being really awesome and letting us stay late and record this. Thomas runs into a firewall and takes some credits. And Robert, oh, he's looking at a Mushin Notion. He's got kind of most of his combo. He's looking for a Crisium grid. One of the tricks of this deck is to know when to go for it. He could also start trashing some assets because Thomas is tagged now, but it looks like he's just going to ice up and take some money. I don't know if I agree with that. I probably would have started trashing some assets, or maybe that was a mistake. Maybe the tag is not supposed to be there. Actually, I think that's right. I think Thomas cleared tags at the end of his turn and just forgot to remove the tag from the card. And yep, they're gonna clarify that, fix that. That was correct. There was no tag on Andromeda. But Thomas is almost rigged up. He's got his ferry. He's got Corroder. And basic Andromeda tricks. So might be looking at a legwork. Indeed, we are looking at a legwork right now. It's pretty good. If that is a sentry, Thomas gets right through it. If it's a code gate, he's going to bounce. It is a barrier, so ooh, that is not good for Robert. The curtain wall cost him 14, but only a strength 6 because it's not on the outside of the server, and Thomas gets in. So here we go. First card, it's an Atlas, scores 2 points. Second card, ew, Hades Shard, or Hades Fragment. So Thomas is up 5 points on one legwork. That was a beastly legwork. Really, really good. Well played. Robert bounces the curtain wall to hand. Yeah, I don't know how much I feel, how good I feel about that right now. Like, ultimately, he's going to have to res it again, and he's looking for some answers. Something to keep him out, but he's just seeing barriers, really. He's just going to put another barrier. I believe that was the curtain wall right on top there of HQ. Pardon me. All right. Thomas is looking at some hedge funds in hand, some siphons, all sorts of nastiness that he can unleash here with for pretty much, little worry. I mean, he'll definitely get him to res that ice, but I think right now he's just going to money up. So he's going to hedge fund for a first click. Second click, he's going to siphon. Second click, wow, that's how you get that ice resed. And it looks like the corp's sitting on 18 credits right now. Contemplating whether he's going to res it. He doesn't. And Thomas will just pay right through the firewall. I don't know how I feel about that. That's kind of scary. Like, knowing that you can just... I mean, you could have kept him out there. Maybe that would have been the right play. I don't know. Thomas spends the rest of his turn clearing tags. So the Andromeda player here on the right, kind of picking and choosing his weapons very carefully and just being very patient, letting the corp kind of build up some money if they want, making some servers. The servers haven't really, the ice really haven't done very much right now. They've been kind of underwhelming. Corroder just kind of dismantling them all. And Thomas is going to run R&D. Robert's thinking, no res, first piece. Second ice, he's going to res it. It's an itchy 1.0. And we are on first click, so Thomas has the opportunity to click through that without burning his ferry. He's going to opt to click through the first two, and the corp can trace him. It looks like he's just going to trace one. And the second, Thomas will use the ferry to get through the caduceus. Sees a card. draws a card. He's being super aggressive now. I think the issue here now is that the corp is stuck on, doesn't have enough money, and is going to have to try to bounce something next turn, return something to hand rather. He doesn't have enough money to get the off the grid Crisium grid online. He needs 6, 7, 8. He needs 9 for the combo, and then he needs some money for the ice. So he needs probably more like, 15 to 20 credits in order to get it to work, and definitely the extra money to score the agenda. Thomas is sitting on 5, 10, 15, 16 credits. He's going to special order. Looks like we're going to be going for a switchblade, right? Of course. Very, very good here. That's just going to dismantle all of these sentries. And, one of the things that we've seen lately with Andromeda going stealth is that, she can play aggressively like normal Andromeda, and just it's effectively the same identity with all the same breakers, except where you have this kind of insane trump card in Switchblade, and it makes all those sentries that you really hate they effectively go away unless there are just too many of them, which doesn't often happen. The corp is icing up, taking some money, discarding a card, and Thomas is going to be thinking here, well, all I need is one agenda left, and he's got to have at least one in hand. So maybe we're going to see another legwork here sometime. Just drawn. There's a legwork. Put money on Katie. Okay. Pretty solid turn. And he's sitting on 17 credits now. And discards a Masanori. Robert's still seeing nothing but ice here. He's got to be a little annoyed. But he's getting there. He's got 11 credits. He's got some pretty beefy central servers. So I'd probably be wanting to draw for a Jackson right now. That's probably what he's trying to do, is just find a way to dump those agendas in hand so he doesn't get legworked again. Because that's just game if he does. So looks like Thomas is just content again with moneying up, plays a silencer. So now he's ready to go. Like, he doesn't really need that much else. And Robert's deck is not giving up any code gates at all. So, alright, there's the Crisium grid. Is he going to go for the off-the-grid play this turn? I don't know if he can. That will be very, very tricky. It will leave him with 7 credits, minus the 1 credit for advancement, maybe. That seems tricky. That's tough. I don't know if I'd do it. It's not enough. There's a Ghost Runner from Thomas. He's got to be looking for his other Icebreaker. I'm not sure if he plays Refractor or a Gordian Blade in here. Probably, he might be playing a Refractor. There's an inside job on R&D. Oh, sorry, HQ. My mistake. The placement of the card has tricked me. So, what happens here? No res first ice, no res second ice, no res third ice. He's just going to bypass that ice altogether. And it's a Crisium grid. He trashes the Crisium grid. Robert is gambling here. He's 2 agendas in hand. Oh, and he grabs it. Project Atlas right from hand. Thomas takes down Robert in the first round of top 8. Man, that was a very quick game. Insanely quick for a stealth rigged Andy. I'm kind of blown away actually. Usually those decks are slow, but this one got online incredibly fast. So, all right, everybody, thanks a lot. Follow us on Twitter at hidden_assets. And don't forget to check out our website, hidden-assets.net, where we have some articles and deck lists from around the Seattle area. And yeah, we'll see you next time on Hidden Assets.